Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are converting Electra, my 2008 Dodge Ram 1500 5.7 Hemi. We are converting it to an electric fan. So let me show you guys what we got. Guys, so I have the Flexolite whole entire direct fit electric fan kit for the third generation Dodge Ram, which is 02 to 08 and also 02 to 09 if it's a 2500 or 3500. But this is what we have. We're ditching the mechanical fan. I was actually in here because I had to do a water pump because my water pump started leaking from the weed pole. So when I was, taking the fan off and everything, I was like, man, now is the time to upgrade. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start by pulling apart the old fan shroud. We have no fan. If you have a fan, take your fan off. It is normal thread, so lefty loosey, righty tighty. You will need to hold the water pump pulley though. Yeah, so we already took that off. So we got a couple bolts for the overflow tank. There's one there and one there. And then my cold air intake, you guys won't have this, but my cold air intake actually bolts to the one radiator fan shroud bolt. But you'll have one of those there, and you'll also have another one up top right here, and this whole thing will come up out of your way. Be careful if you're going to be disconnecting the lines on these, they will leak, so just keep that in mind. I'm not going to. I'm kind of going to just move it to the side and hang it, and then do what I need to do. And then these will actually bolt directly to the new fan shroud from Flexolite. They give you all the brackets and everything. So let's hop right into this and get it done. Guys, so my plan of leaving it in place, yeah, that did not exactly work. So I took it all the way out. It probably will work if you have a stock intake, because my intake was very close to it, kind of got in my way. But I got everything out of the way. There's two bolts that hold this bottom cooler down here that go through the radiator. You need to remove those because this fan is going to actually mount to those bolts. And unfortunately for me, we're gonna have to bolt the bottom of it tomorrow because I don't have factory bolts. I had to change these when I was doing my radiator, and those bolts are not quite long enough to actually go through the brackets for the fan. But this is our fan, guys. It's actually really, really nice. I like it. It's very, very slim. We're gonna have plenty of room in the engine bay, but yeah, so I put the bottom bracket here. This is your bottom bracket. That is your top bracket. This is where everything will mount to your overflow bottles and everything. And then you also have that bracket, which again will mount your overflow bottles. So I'm going to get this lowered in, and I'm going to bolt the top bracket just to hold it in place, just so I can run my wires and pretty much get everything done. And then tomorrow, like I said, I'll get longer bolts for that from like Home Depot or something. All right, guys, so I just want to show you this diagram. I'm going to show you guys the fan. I have it installed in the truck. I got my two bolts. I didn't start wiring it or anything. Last night I kind of just gave up. It was cold, it was windy, and I just wasn't having it. But this is pretty much what we're going to be dealing with. Keep in mind or at least the Hemi and the 4.7. I know the 6 cylinders use one fan, like they already have an electric fan. So yeah, so the 4.7 and the Hemi, the Cummins is probably different, but because my AC condenser is off to the side and it's separate from the radiator, it has its own electric fan. So I don't need to hook up the AC feed or any of that, all this type of stuff. We don't need that. So pretty much all we need is the 4 thick wires here. One has a fuse that goes to the positive at the battery. I'm going to actually go to the positive at the fuse box. Then you have a negative that needs to go to it. They say to put it to the battery. I'm going to put it to the chassis ground at the fender, just so it's more clean. I don't want all these wires hanging off my battery, so I'm just going to do my best and clean it up. Make sure you can't really see too much of it. And then you have your 2 leads from the fan. You have a black and a colored, and that's going to be your fan negative and your fan positive. And this is your controller, just in case you guys didn't realize that. This is your controller for your fan. So that'll take care of the big wires, the main feed, the negative, and both sides of the fan. Then you're going to need only 3 wires at this side. It's going to be an ignition source, which is this one right here, and then your 2 thermostat wires. The thermostat wires you can hook up either way. It doesn't matter which way they get hooked up, but they do need to be hooked up to those pins right there, 11 and 10. And then your ignition is 9. And that's just so your battery doesn't drain down from having the controller on all the time. Pretty much the ignition wire, it just turns the controller on.
It's not going to actually pull the power from the for the fan from the ignition wire. That's going to come from the heavy lead ones, which are going to be over here. So more or less, we got 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 7 wires to hook up this whole entire system. It's pretty simple. If you do need the AC, you're going to have more. I'm not hooking that up. I don't need that. The fan's going to come on with the temperature regardless, so we don't need that. Like I said, my AC condenser is off to the side and has a separate fan that's going to go on with my AC whenever I have AC on. So we don't need to worry about that. The thermostat, you want to put in the upper radiator, like right next to the upper radiator inlet. So, or the outlet, inlet, whatever you want to call it, but where the upper radiator hose goes, you want to be as close to that as possible. And you want about 1/2 inch of the probe protruding through the front of the radiator when you do that. And yeah, that'll take care of all your wiring and everything. I'm going to show you guys all this after I actually get it wired up and everything. And I'm going to show you guys the fan before I start wiring it up. But I just wanted to go over the diagram with you guys so you guys could just kind of understand what I'm dealing with. I know wiring could kind of be confusing for some people. I actually am pretty good with wiring, so it's pretty basic to me, and this is a pretty basic circuit. So just wanted to clarify that just so you guys know how to hook your fan up.
Guys, there she is. That is fully installed, so minus wiring. The fan is fully installed. So we have the 2 top bolts that hold it. We have the 2 top bolts for our overflow tank. Down here, right there, we have our bracket that bolts to where my K&N bolts to. That's your stock fan shroud bolt. You'll be reusing that. I put all the tanks back, the 2 electrical connectors, and the washer fluid line. The bottles just slide right into that bracket, and then it gets bolted up top. Don't forget to tighten these bolts. Also, you left them loose in the last one. In the last time I told you guys they were loose. You're supposed to do that just so you can move the fan around. But it is very, very slim, man. It looks very, very good in here. And then you'll have your 2 bolts on the bottom too, the long ones, and 2 more bolts like that bolt into the fan itself. So that's what we have. I do have to put coolant in my truck. Obviously, I did a water pump. You guys can see it's nice and new. Everything down there. So I'm gonna put coolant in the truck and everything like that, and then I'm gonna start wiring this thing up and see what happens. It should work good. It should. It's a good brand. I think we'll be all right. So here's all of the wiring stuff that they give you. I'm personally not going to use all of this. I'm not using these wire connectors. I have my solder connectors, which I would much prefer to use. If you do use these, make sure you tape up your wires or put heat shrink tubing around them. This is a tap fuse. That is for your ignition. That is another form of, if you want to put the wire on another wire, that's actually probably for the AC is what I would imagine. Like I said, we're not using that. You have your terminals that are supposed to go to your battery. They're going to go to my fuse box and fender. That is the fuse. That is the fuse that belongs in there. We have our red wire. We have our thick red wire, our thick black wire, green, and these 2 wires are not as thick. This was more than likely for the AC. Again, we're not worrying about that. We don't need it. And then they give you some assortment of screws and bolts, I guess, so you can mount the fuse and you can mount the controller. I'm not going to use what they give. I have self-tapping screws. And I've come to the decision that I want to put this right on the fan itself, just so it's close to the actual wires for the fan and everything. And then I can just run my stuff over to the fuse box. Guys, check her out, man. She's all wired up. I did spend excessive amount of time doing this just because I wanted a very, very clean wiring job. So we have in the fuse box our ignition 12-volt source, which goes to the top 25 amp fuse. That's where we have that with the tap fuse. That comes on when the key's on. Then we took our main big power lead, came into the fuse, which I have mounted right here. This opens, your fuse is inside here. Then we come out of that and we go straight to the fuse box terminal. Our negative is up over here with all the other factory negatives. That comes down and through the fender. You can't even see it. Then we did nice mounts all up in here. We have our temperature probe sticking out right there. Like I said, you want that out 1/4 to 1/2 inch. And then all of this, we have our controller, which we can easily adjust right there in that open circle. That is our adjustment for our fan to come on, off, or not off, just on. Our temperature probe, another mount all the way down there. That's our ignition, both temperatures, and then our heavy leads that are going to the fan. Again, all mounted nicely. Everything is extremely clean, guys. I am about to put some coolant in it, start the truck, let it run, bleed the cooling system, and we'll figure out when we're going to get this fan to turn on or off. I'm going to use my Alltel scanner to monitor the temperature so I can get the fan to turn on when I want to at the exact degree instead of just going off the gauge. You'll probably want to do this also because it's more accurate. I mean, you could eyeball it with the gauge all you want, but I'm going to make sure it turns on at the proper temperature. So we're dialed, you know. But yeah, we're ready to start, man. We're definitely ready to start. So I'm going to get some coolant put in her and fire her up, see what happens. So something to look out for when you initially do your first start is you want one LED on the control panel. That just pretty much means it's ready and it's armed and it's good to go. It just means your wiring's right and everything. I have my scan tool in here. I'm going to monitor the temperature of the truck and we're going to make sure the fan comes on. I'm setting it to 213 degrees, which is 10 degrees higher than the factory thermostat. That's about what you want to do. If you have a 180 T-stat, you want to set at 190, so on and so forth. I may eventually put a 180 T-stat in here, but I haven't made my mind up on that yet. I just put an OEM one back in it, a brand new one. So we'll rock that and we'll see how it is. So let me get this cooling system bled and we'll do our initial drive, see if we feel a difference in power or anything. I can tell you what, it sounds a hell of a lot better. I don't have that from the fan, so that's nice. So as you guys can see, engine coolant temp, we're at 145 right now. We got the heat on full blare. Obviously we're bleeding the system, that's why I have the heat on. Yeah, so we're waiting for it to come up to temp. I actually turned the fan all the way to the most sensitive setting. This way my truck doesn't overheat because I don't know what the least setting is, what the most setting is. So I just set it at the most just so the fan will come on. I can make sure the fan works and everything. And then we'll dial in the actual setting of when we want to come on afterwards. We might have to turn the truck off, let it cool back down and stuff, but we'll see what happens. Right now we're just trying to get some heat in here, bleeding the system. Nothing new there. I mean, pretty basic shit. Got our coolant there. It's probably gonna overflow. It usually does, but it is what it is. Guys, so I got all the air out of the cooling system. We have heat inside the truck, nice and warm. We are currently at 210 and I'm still yet to have the fan kick on, which I'm pretty much just waiting for the fan to come on. Once the fan comes on, I'm gonna shut the truck off, let it cool down, and I'm going to put the cap on the cooling system, and then I'm going to fine adjust the fan to turn on at 213, whenever that may be. The probe's hot, so I mean, I would think it should be turning on any minute now, is what I would think, but I don't know. It's pretty hot, so we'll see. All right, guys, we got fan. We have our LED is still on and everything. I actually lowered the screw to set it at a cooler temp. And as you can see, we're sucking down the temperature. We went from 215 right to fucking 203 in like a heartbeat. That fan moves some air, man. All right, guys, so I'm still trying to dial in the temperature for the set on point. Right now I'm at 206. I really want to be 208 to 213, somewhere in between there. Even 213 is fine, but it's just kind of hard dialing this in, man. The truck don't want to heat up that much. Right now we're at 208, so we're getting there. But pretty much first impressions is the engine is much quieter without that big goofy mechanical fan. I haven't driven it yet, and that's going to be the fun part because I'm very curious. A lot of people say you get 10 horsepower, 10 torque, and 3 miles to the gallon from this. So we're going to be testing that. And it's not going to be in this video. I mean, I could tell you guys if I feel like a butt dyno seat of pants difference, but it's not going to be, a miles per gallon difference or anything in this video, but I will update you guys as I drive it more. But yeah, so we're just dialing it in. Engine's much quieter. I'm way happier with it like this. Before, you just hear the fan a lot, man. And this truck had this the heavy duty cooling from the factory, so I take it the fan clutch is a little bit different. But yeah, so once I get this dialed in, we'll take it for our first drive. So I just had it kick on at 212 and it turned off at 203. Right now we're at 208 and it's kicking back on low speed, which is okay. That's not that big a deal. We could turn it up a little bit more if we have to. But so far so good, guys. It's working just as planned. Guys, we are at 210 right now. Once it gets to 212, the fan will come on. It's at 212 right now. And it should be coming right on in just 1 second. You guys will hear it. I know you can't see it, but you'll hear it. Come on, there it goes. That's the on point, and right now we are currently at 212. That is exactly what we want, guys. Exactly what we want. It literally runs for, it's running right now. It's already off, right? This is how much air this fan moves, dude. So, just running that little bit, the temperature will start to drop. As you guys see, 208. We should get all the way back down to around 203, 206. It'll keep going. 206.6. So the fan's still running right now. We're at 206.6, 204. Should bring us right down to 203. That's where it should bring us to. Let's just make sure on that. 204 right now, which honestly isn't bad. I think the fan is actually off now. Yep, the fan just shut off. So, what are we at right now? 204. Not bad, not bad. I feel like we're set just where we should be. I'm gonna let it cycle a couple more times and then we'll take it for a ride. So guys, initial impressions, my gauge is slightly under the halfway mark, which is perfect. Where you run at idle, I've had it idling for probably 45 minutes and we never surpass like 210. Actually most of the time it's at like 204 or 206, which our thermostat opens at 203. So I think we're good with the setting that I have. I do notice like a little bit more pickup, I'd probably say, especially down low. It is much quieter inside the truck, that's for sure. But other than that, I mean, I like it. I really do. The fan is set. It comes on around 210 to 212, and it keeps the truck idling right around about 204, which I think is like perfect. It's right underneath the halfway mark. It's actually coming on right now. It's pretty quiet. I definitely do notice a little bit more pickup with the truck. It's definitely much quieter inside the truck without the big fan, and outside way quieter, way quieter. You don't hear nothing besides the motor. I mean, not in a bad way, but yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please drop a like up on this video. Drop a comment down below. We are at none other than, you know where we are, Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts, I need a sponsorship, bro. Hit me up. Hit me up. I'll catch you guys in next week's video, Friday, 12 p.m. Stay blessed. Peace out. Have a nice night.